Welcome to our next episode of Cold Coffee and Stale Donuts. Today I bring to you the man behind the camera. Normally, when I'm doing stale coffee or any kind of recording within the company, George is our guy. So George, Hevel,
Yes.
welcome to Cold Coffee, Stale Donuts.
Thank you.
Of course, you've been behind the scenes on every one of these, so
Yes.
you are not new to this, but you are in the hot seat today.
I'm a little nervous because there's always some secret question at the end, so I imagine it's not going to be the same.
Oh, we'll come up with one. The good news about that is I usually don't get to that secret question in my brain until about 30 seconds before it's asked. So, first, tell me a little bit about what you do here, how long you've worked here.
So it's coming up on 7 years that I've worked here. I am a senior video producer, so I touch just about any type of video content that we make here at Ritter, whether it be internal communications, public announcements, pretty much anything. I'm touching it in some sort of way, whether it's filming it in-house or even editing or just passing it through approvals.
You know, a question I've never asked, but do you like your job?
I love my job.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's I was probably gonna get this later in the interview, but it's funny because I ask all my peers that are video producers and stuff like that, and they're like, "What's it like in the Medicare space?" Like, because they're like doing music videos and like these exciting things, and I'm like, you know what, like. I actually feel like our stuff is being like presented in a way that like someone learns something or they're getting better. So I like it.
Yeah, I think one of the things whenever we kind of went down this path outside of your traditional marketing, which, hey, when I first started, marketing was we were sending out letters, lots of mailings. Believe it or not, the response would come back through fax.
Oh, yeah.
So we've come a long way since those days. But I remember when we first started this, one of the things, obviously there's always rules and regulations when tied to Medicare, but we wanted to kind of leave this department a little bit more open so that we could put some content out there that was outside the box,
Yeah.
especially for us because, like I said, we were traditionalists at the beginning. We had our go-to. We had 3 or 4 go-to messages, and one of them was a scoop of ice cream. I don't know all of the get the scoop or something, but we lived off that one for many years.
It wasn't cold coffee, stale donuts.
It wasn't cold coffee, stale donuts. No. So hey, we're gonna start off with your favorites. So, favorite sports team.
So I am a sports fan, so I do like many sports. So let's just go down the list. Baseball, I'm a national. Well. Let me start with I'm kind of a homer. So a lot of the minor league teams I follow in the area, that's why I like their pro teams. So our home minor league baseball team is the Harrisburg Senators, which go up to the Nationals, so I follow the Nationals. Our hockey team in the area is the Hershey Bears, which go to the Washington Capitals. The only one I'm not is football. And thank gosh, but I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah. I think where we live, we're well represented by Steelers fans. So I think you can kind of still be a homer and be a Steelers fan. So, favorite food?
That's a toughie. I think my favorite meal is the old steak and potatoes, but I love all food. I could go Indian, Thai, anything. I love it all.
Well-rounded.
Yes.
You're driving down the road. And you're hungry, you stop for fast food. Where are you stopping?
It's been a long time since I had fast food, but I do often stop and get wings or pizza. So probably a local pizza shop and or a bar to get some wings.
When you're heading down that road, what kind of music you got on the radio?
I am a millennial, so I grew up with the whole hip hop and rock sort of thing. So that's normally, but again, I do love all music from country to classical.
We're in Pennsylvania. It's the middle of winter. We got 8 inches of snow on the ground. You pull out the board game. What board game you playing?
I do love board games. I think right now I'm playing one called Pandemic, which is not a typical board game, but like you play through it and there's a story with it. And then after you're done, you kind of like put stickers and on the board so it changes it up. So it's a little bit different every single time. So that's right now. But I think normal board game, I do love Monopoly. I like making deals.
Yeah, I have to say, I feel like I've had enough pandemic in my life, so I don't know that I want to. I don't know that I want to take a Saturday night and say, "Hey, hon, let's sit down and play Pandemic." We're going to move over from favorites to this or that. So I'm going to give you two choices. You tell me which one you are. Beer or wine?
Beer, but I do like a glass of wine every once in a while.
Roller coaster or merry-go-round?
Roller coaster, unless it's backwards and spinning. Then I take like make sure that I have my neck secure.
Yeah. So Hershey Park, probably 15, 20 minutes from us. You had mentioned the Bears. Go Bears.
Yes.
They've got like, I don't know, 7 or 8 roller coasters. What's your favorite roller coaster there?
So my favorite one initially was, so I was alive when they first built the Wildcat, and like that was the first big one that I got on. I loved that, and I was like, I feel like I was the only person that really loved it because it would like jerk you around and stuff. But they updated that was it last year or the year before? But I did get on that, and I really enjoyed that. So probably the new updated Wildcat.
It's funny, when I was a kid, it was all about the Super Duper Looper.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
I think it was one of the first ones that actually was a loop and
Yep.
it went upside down. And now when you look at the park and all the other rides, you're like, there's always a line for the looper, but it's like, it's really not that great
Right.
anymore. You know, it's more of a classic, I guess, than it is anything. So, beach or lake?
More of a beach guy, though I am a water bug. So anytime I'm on the water, I do love it. Sitting on a lake, fishing and stuff that's great. So more beach, but get me on the water.
Spicy or sweet?
Spicy.
Cat or dog?
Dog. I have to say dog because I am allergic to cats. So
Book or movie?
So being a video producer, I'm going to say movie. Though there has been lately that I've been watching the movie and then reading the book after. It kind of gives me, I don't know, like a perspective on what someone look likes and how they act or whatever while reading the book. I know that's not how you're supposed to do it.
No, it's unique. I mean, usually most people will read the book and then watch the movie, and they'll say the movie wasn't as good as the book. But doing it that way, yeah, that makes sense, because now as you're reading the book, you're also picturing.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it because I think the latest one that I'm doing is the Dune series. So I watched the Dune movies, which I really liked, and then reading through it, and I was actually able to put like faces to names and stuff like that. And it actually made me retain the book a little bit better.
Yeah, you know, you'll get this in about 20 years, but it's tough whenever the youngsters are talking about these series that came out when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Dune was big in the 80s.
Oh, man, that was a god-awful movie.
I do. Talking about movies, what are some of your favorite movies?
Yeah, that's another hard one. I would say top 3. I love the Lord of the Rings series. I'm actually going to New Zealand here in about a week to like see a lot of that landscape. But that, Gladiator, and off the top of my head, I have to say this just because it's nostalgic between me and my family, is Dumb and Dumber.
You know, there's a place for comedy, and I think if you look and think of sitting around, you know, at the holidays are coming up, sitting around the table talking to people, you know, what are we talking about at Christmas time? You know, it used to be we're talking about the old movies, and now it's the funny ones, right? It's Elf, it's Christmas Vacation. So humor definitely has its role in the movies. Family? Tell me a little bit about your family.
So at home, I have a significant other and a dog. She would be reluctant if I didn't mention my dog. And then I also have a mother that lives in North Carolina, Wilmington. So I frequent there often to go to the beach.
Any effects of the hurricane for your mom?
Not much. She was actually, it is weird because it kind of went inland a little bit more. But she got a little bit of like the surf was a bit like mucky and dirty and stuff like that, but she was able to get away from like the damage.
Well, George, that was it, because I felt like this time I threw a bunch of little questions in between the questions, so you did great.
Thank you.
Everybody out there, I look forward to seeing you for our next Cold Coffee and Stale Donuts.